So as promised, a bit of vlogging about my days, right? And I figured I didn't want the sound to suck. So I bought this nifty little phone microphone thing for when I was on the road to do some stuff, which of course I never did. And since then I got a new phone, and fuck you, Apple. You don't have a jack anymore, so I need to get the adapter in order to use my nifty little microphone. So the sound will suck until then. And I don't even think I could begin to describe how busy I am. So we've had those 2 conventions, 2 sittings. I'm coming up on the deadline to produce minutes for the first sitting. And then I'll have to do the second sitting. But I was so busy preparing for the second sitting that I couldn't do the minutes for the first sitting. The pile of work I have to do is just absolutely insane. But one thing I didn't share in the other video that I wanted to share here, that's part of the difficulty in just the general atmosphere I find myself involved in. And that is not only being a woman in politics and a rather flamboyant, eccentric, whatever, as you can tell, I do not really follow the typical fashion trends, and I don't really care. I also have Asperger's, and that can make things difficult. I can be really easily misunderstood. And I'm finding that in political circles, with women particularly, who are now becoming diagnosed at an ever rapid rate, that autistic women are really having a hard time, because some of the characteristics are then interpreted, or some of the communication difficulties are interpreted in the most unflattering way possible. Because already sorry, I got interrupted midstream. That's kind of what happens. Wayne was coming up and we needed to discuss other things, and I don't even do I even remember where I left off? I believe it was on dealing with some of the communication difficulties and how it was even more difficult, perhaps, to deal with it already as a woman in an unconventional role with condition, is that the way to put it? With the condition that already predisposes me to a communication style which at times can be considered, blunt, overly direct, which is a characteristic that's more admired in men and discouraged in women, kind of compounds the problem. So these are just general observations, obviously not true in every case, but that was something I had wanted to put forward. So right now I am knee-deep in these convention minutes. I have a meeting with our executive director to talk about new internal file retention architecture, which is something we had not had in place. And I was told, which is this, that one of the sheets for the certificate of nominations for Vermont somehow didn't get through. Who knows what happened when we were signing the pile of 50-something of them. So tomorrow I gotta go get that notarized, and yeah, busy, busy, busy. Well, another day, right? So I've been working frantically on the minutes for the online convention because I do have a deadline. I believe it's tomorrow. Yay! Producing them all. I'm on the second day. Was up really late last night, but I think I got into the flow of it because these normally it would not be quite so tedious, but because it was that online thing that was very unfamiliar, some people were really upset. There were a ton of points of order, so yeah, it was a bit crazy pants. But now I gotta go and take care of the candidate form. I should look at what I need to do here, right? Name of elector. Looking for the notary part. Oh, okay, I see it. All right, I guess I'll be back, and I need to take care of these nasty nails. Well, as you can see, in the same clothes, at least I think so. Or was I wearing my pajamas earlier? I think I was wearing my pajamas earlier. Same day though, 4:16 in the morning. Haven't been to sleep because I'm knee deep in minutes, convention minutes, and my deadline to submit is today, the 23rd. So I'll be working my ass off on these today as long as I get them done by midnight Pacific time. Auditing will have to wait, but at least the minutes can be done. And I found out my aunt is going into hospice today. Or went into hospice today. Right, talk to y'all later. All right. Whew, do I look like I've lost the will to live? And in my pajamas? Up another whole night, got a couple hours sleep, but was with a dog. No, I'm not talking about Wayne, he's not a dog. But was with an actual dog, Skippy, who is a rescue that we're sleeping with him has really like transformed him, made him a lot closer to us. Anyway, I finished, haven't proofread it yet, but I finished the first draft of the first sitting convention minutes, and I've lost my will to live. They are 59 minutes of sheer torture. 59 minutes, did I say? 59 pages of sheer torture. Right on the deadline. Gotta print them out and proofread, and I'm heading in like 3 hours to go to Ohio. It's been pretty non-stop since I last filmed. I'm now sitting on the plane getting ready to go to Ohio. Been proofreading the draft minutes so that I can pick up my luggage in Ohio, then sit down with the draft changes, make the changes, send it to the LNC, then get on an Uber to my hotel. Well, hello everyone. I have landed, obviously, and I'm in my hotel room, but it's not, well, it is my hotel room. I was going to say it's not my hotel room, then you'd be like, ooh la la, what you doing? But no, I went to where I had a reservation, and they overbooked. It happens. But, so they had to walk me over to another hotel, and they're paying for that night, which is nice. But the hotel I'm at is nowhere near as nice. Not a place I definitely would have booked. There's 18 police cars out front. Don't know what's going on. They actually should probably pay for both of my nights because of this, but whatever. I'm glad to save the money on the one night. I'm going back to the hotel I was booked at tomorrow. I'm going to call them to let them know. We'll see, that adds time even to me tomorrow. Oof, and it's already late. It's like 3. I'm going to get some sleep, and I'll check in over the weekend. Good night. Okay, up the next morning from, slept in. Was very tired from the Best Western, and kind of gross, and the whole second floor reeked of pot. I have such a headache and stomachache. I can't stand that smell. But back to the Marriott. They're coming to get me. Okay, here at the Libertarian Party of Ohio convention, listening to Spike Cohen speak. He's our vice presidential candidate. Let's flip this around.
Very quickly the other way, but I would say that was the hardest thing, and it's the one that I cherish. I want to be the one, and I believe that each of you can be the ones to answer that response, to respond to that answer of, well, I don't think you can win. Okay, well, why would you want the other ones to win? So that's my answer to that.
My mic works. My mic works.
Yes, no, it's fantastic. We're uphill from here. Go ahead.
As you know, Spike, I'm running for Congress. So being a little bit more specific, you've mentioned getting on the debate stage.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on us working together, candidates and you, so that you take over Ohio, so you take Ohio in the election? What kind of strategic moves are you thinking we need to do to work together for the next 3 months?
Absolutely. So we are trying to endorse and promote at least one down ballot candidate per day on our social media. We can't reach all of them, unfortunately, but we're trying to do as many as we can. And so the policy there is, and I think I've given you my link to fill out so that we can start promoting you. If I will talk to you afterwards if I haven't. But we are asking down ballot candidates to actually reach out to us. We have a form you can fill out to give your basic info about your campaign, give us a headshot, your social media, all of that, so we can endorse you and promote you on social media. This is a grassroots across the board campaign. We don't have the hundreds of millions of dollars that the cronies hand to the Republicrats in order to get them to win. The way we win is person by person, one at a time, changing hearts and minds. This is why I say that you are the army of liberty, fighting for a world set free in our time. This is what we do every single day. And to that effect of what you're asking, we are supporting the down ballot candidates as much as we can to make sure that you get as much support as you possibly can. And in turn, you and the grassroots people here in the local and state affiliates are working every day to get the word out about the Jorgensen-Cohen campaign and the Libertarian Party, the entire slate of candidates in our movement at large. So I will get to you after this, and I'll get you that link. So
can we be successful without engaging some sort of media? You're pretty much of an expert on it.
Between a leopard and a hippo. Okay, so everyone, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's okay. Everyone remain calm. I know. I love them. They're adorable. But you know, instead of waiting for them to hand us our next Aleppo gotcha question, we go on our terms. And when they ask us questions, we challenge the premise of it and reframe it in the way that we want it. I just did that recently with an interview on primetime news outside in the Peoria area in Illinois, where they were trying to frame it around, well, you're a libertarian, but what about these masks? You know, people wearing masks reduces the spread. Do you agree with Donald Trump, or do you agree with Joe Biden? And I reframed it. I said the CDC is the reason why we even have this pandemic to begin with. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that the federal government is the reason that we're even facing the worst outcome so far of any developed country right now, because the CDC actually told doctors, you cannot test for this until we make our own test kits. Oh, and even though they're really easy to make, we've spent 2 months on it and they keep not working. Now, meanwhile, these doctors were able to turn around, make these kits in-house, and they were working from day one, just to demonstrate how much government sucks. I know I'm on a rant, but the point is that I changed it. I changed the narrative on that. I changed it on that, and I forget what the other police brutality. I changed the narrative on that question. They brought us in to use us as a wedge against either the Republicans or the Democrats. I changed it around and said, no, I'm a libertarian. I am running to tell you that they both suck, that the government that they've created is leading to harmful and inequitable and abusive outcomes, and we have the solutions to fix it so that these problems would have never happened in the first place. So that's
Go Spike!
Oh, for God's sake. Just say it loud, I'm sorry.
How can you garner 15% of the population?
Yeah.
Favorable.
For the polls, yeah.
Precisely. When the pollster will not acknowledge your existence?
That's an excellent question. So, for those who didn't hear, he asked, how are we able to get on 15% of the polls when many of the polls won't even acknowledge our existence?
And this is when we learned that Spike Cohen is a brony and that his name actually is from Spike, from My Little Pony. That he decided to change his name unilaterally when he was 4 years old after watching the movie. Factoid.
Daily conversations I have with Jim.
How dare you?
Like I said, Jim and I talk every day, and it's just like this.
It's past a certain point where usually one of us realizes it's not worth it anymore. We're just like, okay. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Whatever.
Okay, so tomorrow
Yes.
I need your help. We are crowdsourcing $7,500 for the first 1 million text messages. It's going to happen.
Where's the crowd?
Well, tomorrow.
You're generating it.
Crowd?
You know how Joe Jorgensen's getting 3%? You're getting 3%.
I just wanted to know which crowd we were taking the money from. That's all.
You took my money tonight.
Hey, I just told you, $840 more, and you have a lifetime membership in the Libertarian Party of Ohio.
I already have a lifetime membership in the Libertarian Party of Ohio. I'm just paying it on installment.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Another place where the faces are so cold. I drive all night just to get back home. I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride, and I'm wanted. Dead or alive, wanted. Dead or alive.
By the way, Jim, the monitor is not working here. Just so you know. Thankfully, it works.
Sometimes I sleep, sometimes it's not for days. The people I meet, they always go separate ways. Sometimes you tell the day by the bottle that you drink. And times when you're alone, and all you do is sing. I'm a cowboy. On a steel horse I ride, and I want it. Dead or alive, want it. Dead or
Dustin, tell him the monitor's not working.
I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride, and I'm wanted. Dead or alive, I walk these streets. I wanted 6-string on my back. I'm playing for keeps, 'cause I might not make it back. I've been everywhere, still I'm standing tall. I've seen 1,000,000 faces, and I like them all. Because I'm cowboy on a steel horse I ride, and I'm wanted. Dead or alive, 'cause I'm a cowboy. I got the night on my side, and I'm wanted. Dead or alive, dead or alive, dead or alive.
Well, it's the morning. Last night ended up being quite rough with the Fireball night. I'm done with Fireball. I said that before, I think. I hear we went to Waffle House, but it was fun. I also hear I did karaoke, which is something I've never done sober. Oh boy, Mountain Dew. Elixir of the gods, unlike Fireball. So, heading on my way to the airport. Have you ever noticed how there are hair ties everywhere? I swear there's an invasion. But now, instead of letting them follow me, I just take them prisoner. You are mine. All right, well, that was less than a week. That was I don't know, 4 or 5 days, jam-packed, somewhat disjointed. I'll get a bit better at this, but back home, didn't record the adventure of getting hassled by TSA, which was interesting. And yeah, was going to be going to the Texas convention this coming up weekend, but they moved the location, and it just doesn't make it feasible. So yeah, we'll see what further adventures. But what's interesting in coming back from the Ohio convention, some of the experiences that were related, and I don't want to give names because I don't have permission to, but by another woman in politics there, of some untoward things that were said by somebody, making claims that, she was charging people for sex, and she's not a sex worker. That is not in fact the case, and how nobody said anything. And unfortunately, this type of thing is not that uncommon and really, really needs to stop. But anyway, just another day in the life of politicking while female. All right, till next time.